Have you ever met someone who didn't feel unfamiliar, but felt remembered? As if your soul recognized them before your mind could find the reason. You didn't search for them. You didn't plan the moment. They simply appeared. And no matter how many times life tried to pull you apart, through distance, timing, misunderstandings, pride, something kept drawing you back to the same person again and again. Psychology might label this coincidence, but deep connection leaves patterns the mind cannot dismiss. Because when two people are truly meant for each other, certain things always unfold. Not perfectly, not effortlessly, but inevitably. Not because love is easy, but because the bond refuses to disappear. Today, I want to share 7 signs that always appear when two people are meant to be, even if they don't end up together right away. And once you hear the first one, you'll understand why some connections never truly end. Let's begin. You meet during a moment that transforms you. People who are meant for each other rarely meet when life is stable. They cross paths during change. One of you is healing. One of you is questioning. One of you is shedding an old version of yourself. Psychology shows that the deepest bonds form during identity shifts. Moments when you're no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. Then they arrive. They don't just enter your life. They interrupt it. They change how you think. They deepen how you feel. They force you to confront patterns you never questioned before. Even if the relationship doesn't last, the impact does. You grow because of them. You heal because of them. Or you finally understand your worth because of them. People who aren't meant to be pass quietly. People who are meant to be arrive during storms and leave you changed forever, no matter how far you drift. The connection finds its way back. When two people are meant to be, distance doesn't erase the bond. It tests it. You may stop talking. Life may pull you in opposite directions. Years may pass. You convince yourself you've moved on. You build new routines, maybe even new relationships, and then something stirs. A song, a memory, a quiet moment. Suddenly, they return to your thoughts as if time never touched them. Psychology calls this emotional imprinting. When someone leaves a mark on your nervous system, absence doesn't erase it. This isn't obsession. It's recognition. Eventually, paths cross again, through chance, timing, or moments neither of you planned. Not because you were chasing, but because something unfinished was still pulling you together. People who aren't meant to be fade. People who are meant to be returned. Being with them feels like emotional rest. When two people are meant to be, love doesn't feel chaotic. It feels grounding. Not dull, not empty, but steady, like finally exhaling. Even silence feels safe. You don't feel the need to perform. You don't protect yourself. You don't shrink. Psychology calls this emotional attunement. When two nervous systems regulate each other naturally, your body relaxes. Your thoughts slow. Your guard lowers. Intensity can come from unresolved pain, but peace comes from compatibility. They don't drain you. They don't confuse you. They don't make you feel smaller. They feel like home. People who aren't meant to be leave you anxious. People who are meant to be leave you calmer than before. That kind of peace isn't learned. It's recognized. You trigger growth in each other, not fear. Meant to be connections don't keep you comfortable. They keep you honest. Not through criticism, but through presence. Being with them exposes patterns you can't ignore. How you communicate, how you avoid, how you love. And instead of feeling attacked, you feel invited to grow. Psychology calls this secure mirroring. When someone reflects you without shame, you don't shrink. You expand. They don't fear your growth. They encourage it, and you do the same for them. Growth isn't always comfortable, but it never feels unsafe. Fear-based connections make you hide. Aligned connections make you evolve. Your values align, even when personalities differ. When two people are meant to be, they don't always look compatible on the surface. You may differ in habits, energy, communication, but beneath that, something deeper matches your values, how you handle honesty, how you treat others when no one is watching, how you respond to pain, how you show up when things get difficult. Psychology confirms that long-term emotional compatibility is built on shared values, not shared hobbies. You may argue over small things, but when it matters most, you stand on the same ground. That's why even conflict carries respect. Even distance carries care. Even uncertainty carries trust. The bond doesn't fade. It evolves. Being meant to be doesn't mean life makes it easy. It means life keeps reminding you. Sometimes the connection appears as love. Sometimes as lessons. Sometimes as timing that feels painfully wrong, before it finally feels right. But one thing never changes. The mark it leaves. You don't forget how safe you felt, how deeply you were seen, who you became when they were around. Even if paths separate for a while, something inside you knows. This wasn't random, because meant to be love doesn't shout. It stays. And if you're thinking about someone right now, that's not coincidence either. Some connections arrive to stay forever. Others arrive to change you forever. Both matter. Both are rare. And both deserve to be honored.